Hope you enjoyed the Plattler portion of the tutorial. Now we're going to learn how to cut the wood of the actual log here using our axes, and also ideally you'd be using a saw. The way the setup is for the men is you have two axemen on the edges of the log, as well as two sawmen in the middle of the log. So, what this means, why don't we break the men up by number. We would have number one, that would be number one. Number two would be the sawman next to me. Number three would be the man on the far edge of the log on this side. Number four would be the man at the edge of the log on the other side. Number five would be the sawman on this side. And number six, right here, would be my partner, Rob, who's the axeman across from me. Now, we have to chop and saw to the music. Now, it's important that when you chop the log, that the axemen are on time, that they chop with the beat. And the way it's going to look is I, along with man number four, who is actually diagonal from me, will hit the log at the same time to the music. And as we pull back, my partner Rob here, axeman or number six, along with man number three, would hit the log with their axe. And as the music changes again, as the music continues, I should say, I chop, he moves up. He chops as I move up. As he moves up, I chop. And actually works very well with the music. It has a very good beat. So, now, why don't we try that with the music to demonstrate what exactly we're doing. Breakdown of the dance before my partner and I actually perform the dance in its entirety. So we'll start out by marching in with the axes. And once all six men, or for the purposes of our tutorial, the two men, but as I said, the dance is performed with six men. So when all six men have circled around the log, each man who is carrying a wood chopping utensil, be it an axe or a saw, would then place said axe or saw over the log. Now what the two axemen do typically, or the four axemen do typically, is they take their axe and they strike it into the side of the log. So it stays nice, so it stays in place as the man do the Plattler, as well as continue to walk around the log. What the sawmen do, actually only one man carries the saw. Guy number two carries the saw. Guy number five, which would be his partner, does not carry the saw. So, guy number two would take the saw and simply lay it across the center of the log. Now, after the men have each placed their utensils around the log, they assume the Plattler position, waiting for the music to begin. When the Plattler begins, then the men dance the Plattler. Now, after the men have finished dancing the Plattler, they continue to walk around the circle. Now, the way they walk around the circle, of course, always to the beat, but they also clap. But they don't do just any clap. Not like this. It's a clap that looks like this. The left hand has an open circle, and the right hand is positioned as a hand would normally be positioned for clapping, and you clap to the beat. So the men continue to walk around the log, clapping to the beat, until the time comes to the music where it's time to begin chopping and sawing the wood, at which point the men get down on their knees. The axemen should make it a point to have their feet placed against the green stand, or whatever color the stand is, that holds the log in place. This will prevent the log from slipping while you're striking it with your axes as well as sawing. So the men, of course, strike with the axe, saw with the saw to the beat, and once the chopping and sawing portion of the dance is over, the men once again take their axes, on the sides of the log, while the sawman puts the saw across the center of the log, and then the girls join in on the fun. What the girls do, each man has a partner, so each girl will then walk up to the man that she partnered up with, and she'll bring him a beer, she'll rub his back, and they'll flirt a little bit. Remember, Schuhplattler is actually a courtship dance, so you want to make it fun and exciting and flirty, and so the girl will stand there with her guy, and make it look like they're having a good time, like the men are just really enjoying their rest from working so hard. The girls leave, and the guys once again do the Plattler. Okay? And it's the same Plattler you did the first time around. It all repeats. And once the men are done doing the Plattler, we once again march around the log. Once again, of course, stepping to the beat, as well as doing the clap that I showed you. The open left, and the closed right hand held flat. Makes a great sound. Then, once the portion of the music has come once again for the chopping and the sawing, and then we'll once again get down on our knee, foot against the stand that the log is in, chopping and sawing to the beat. Then, once the chopping and sawing portion of the music is ended, the men, once again, axes, side of the log, saw across the center of the log, and once again, the girls come out to their partner. So, once again, they bring them a beer, they hug, they kiss, they flirt, they're wrestling, they're having a great time, and then, once that portion of the music changes, the men will each grab their chopping utensil, except guy number 5, who of course does not take a saw with him. Sling your axe over your left shoulder, and with your right hand, hang on to your girl, and you now all march off the dance floor. Of course, follow out couple number 1. So, we march around the axe once, and then we all march off the dance floor, and we have completed the Holzhacker. One thing I'd like to mention before we actually do a performance for you is that it is possible to do the Holzhacker with only 4 men. If you do the Holzhacker with 4 men, you will simply have 4 axemen and no men on the saw. Everything else stays the same.